It's just grief, utter grief. Anger will set in, but at the moment it's more disbelief than anything. And on the one hand, I think everyone knew this was going to happen sooner or later with the trajectory that we were on as a society. But for it to actually happen here at our Hanukkah event in Bondi Beach, which every year is just the most beautiful family event with kids running around, and it's a celebration. And to think that people were there with heavy weapons, picking off children and the elderly, and just getting all the facts this morning and hearing about more dead and people dying overnight in the hospital, and the ages of the deceased. A man who I knew very well in his 90s is dead, a survivor of the Holocaust. The rabbi, who's a dear, dear friend of mine and was really a pillar of our community, did so much for everybody. He's among the dead. It's just impossible to rationalize and comprehend that this has happened. Oh, look, this is obviously the heart of the community. This is, the core of Jewish life in this city, but it's also a Hanukkah event. It's not a random attack that happens to ensnare the Jewish community. People came to kill Jewish children and women and the elderly, and they knew that here they would have, in a relatively small area, hundreds and hundreds of people, like fish in a barrel. And that's what they wanted. They wanted to kill as many Jewish people as possible simply because they were Jewish, for the crime of being Jewish. Look, I remember speaking to the media outside my former home on January 17th after the firebombing attack there. And I said at the time that this will end in someone getting killed. And at that time, things were escalating from, aggressive protests and vandalism to firebombings. And we knew at that point in time, when there were people in our country prepared to light fires on busy residential streets, this wouldn't stop. But at the same time, who could have thought that we would take that enormous leap from firebombing, which is serious enough, to actual murder, massacre of this sort, body bags on Bondi Beach at a Hanukkah event?